What is up, everybody? Today, we're diving into a wild question. Is Hungary the most sinful country in the world in 2025? We're not just talking about parties. We're exploring the real, everyday lives of women in Hungary. And what we found is shocking. From unbelievable laws to a cultural clash happening right now, we're breaking down what sinful really means for a country. Stick around, because the final fact will absolutely blow your mind. Let's get into it. Is Hungary the most sinful country? Let's find out. First, let's set the scene. Hungary sits in Central Europe, landlocked and at the crossroads of East and West. Its capital, Budapest, is stunning, but that's not why Hungary is in the spotlight. In recent years, Hungary's politics and controversial social policies have made global headlines. The country is marching to its own beat, clashing with neighbors and the international community. It's become a focal point for debates about tradition, modernity, and national identity. The government's policies on family, immigration, and personal freedoms are raising eyebrows worldwide. Hungary is now seen as a massive social experiment, and the world is watching. We're here to look past the headlines and see what's really happening. Is Hungary a paradise of traditional values, or is there something darker beneath the surface? To answer that, we need to define what sinful even means for a country. Is it about wild parties, breaking religious rules, or something deeper, like laws and freedoms? Let's build a sinful scorecard and see how Hungary stacks up. What makes a country sinful? We built a modern scorecard based on the 7 deadly sins: pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. For gluttony and lust, we looked at nightlife, alcohol consumption, adult entertainment, and online search trends. Greed? We checked corruption indexes and income inequality. Wrath and pride? We measured violent crime, nationalism, and aggressive foreign policy. Sloth? We analyzed unemployment, labor force participation, and attitudes toward work. Envy? We looked at social dissatisfaction and happiness surveys. Our scorecard mixes hard data, crime rates, economic numbers, with cultural attitudes and corruption reports. It's not perfect, but it gives us a framework. Now, how does Hungary score? As we go through the next chapters, we'll apply this scorecard to life in Hungary, especially for women. Will Hungary's reality match its sinful label, or reveal something totally different? Let's dive into daily life for Hungarian women. This is where things get real. With our scorecard ready, let's dive into what life is truly like for women in Hungary, a country where tradition and modernity often collide. In bustling cities like Budapest, women are not only highly educated, but also incredibly ambitious and active in the workforce. More women than men graduate from higher education, and you'll find them in boardrooms, labs, and running successful businesses. But there's a twist. Hungarian culture, backed by aggressive government incentives, strongly encourages women toward early marriage and motherhood. The government offers substantial, interest-free loans that are forgiven if you have enough children, making family life financially appealing. This creates a powerful choice for women: pursue a career or take advantage of financial benefits to start a family. The pressure isn't just financial, it's deeply cultural, with family gatherings often revolving around marriage and children. In Budapest, women enjoy vibrant social lives and personal freedom, but traditional dating expectations still persist. Outside the capital, traditional roles are even stronger, and career opportunities are significantly fewer. For ambitious women in rural areas, life can feel particularly restrictive and challenging. So, Hungarian women navigate a split reality: modern independence versus deep-rooted societal expectations. It's not a simple story of oppression or freedom. It's a daily balancing act that requires constant negotiation. Millions of women live at this intersection of progress and tradition, each finding their own path. The question remains: how much freedom do they really have in shaping their own lives? Let's delve deeper into the laws and restrictions that shape their lives and choices. Hungary is a paradox of freedoms and restrictions for women, a country where modernity and tradition clash in unexpected ways. On one hand, Hungary has liberal alcohol laws and a vibrant nightlife. Women can drink and socialize freely, without stigma. The bustling bars and cafes are filled with laughter and conversation, showcasing a society that embraces social freedoms. But politically, women are underrepresented, one of the lowest rates in the EU. so their voices are often missing from key decisions. This lack of representation means that policies affecting women are often made without their input. The government claims to help women by promoting family, but critics say this ignores issues like the gender pay gap and domestic violence. Activists argue that these policies are more about controlling women than empowering them. Maternity leave is generous, up to 3 years, but it can trap women outside the workforce, making it hard to return to their careers. This extended leave, while beneficial for family bonding, often results in career stagnation. Budapest is considered safe, with low street crime, and many women feel comfortable walking alone at night. The well-lit streets and active nightlife contribute to a sense of security. However, domestic violence is underreported, and authorities often treat it as a private matter. This lack of official intervention leaves many women vulnerable in their own homes. So, while public spaces may feel safe, home isn't always a haven. The contrast between public freedom and private fear is stark. The constant back and forth between freedom and restriction defines life for Hungarian women. They navigate a complex landscape of opportunities and limitations. Policies meant to empower can also limit. The very laws designed to support women can sometimes hold them back. Social freedoms coexist with political and economic barriers. This duality creates a unique set of challenges for women in Hungary. The result? A country where women's lives are shaped by contradictions. They experience both empowerment and restriction in their daily lives. Let's look at the law that made the world stop and stare. This legislation has sparked international debate and controversy. This is where Hungary's approach becomes truly controversial. The law has been criticized for its potential impact on women's rights. The next fact is jaw-dropping. Here's what happened. Stay tuned to find out more. In 2022, Hungary passed a law requiring women seeking an abortion to listen to the fetal heartbeat before proceeding. Abortion remains legal, but this new rule adds a significant emotional hurdle. International human rights groups condemned it as psychological pressure, while the government claims it's about providing information. The law doesn't ban abortion, but it inserts the state into a deeply personal decision. Activists say it's made the process more traumatic and confusing for women. It's a stark example of the government's willingness to use emotional regulations to promote its vision of family. This law perfectly encapsulates Hungary's cultural and political conflict over women's rights. The battle isn't just legal, it's psychological. Beyond laws, Hungary is in a cultural tug-of-war. The government and older generations push a traditional conservative vision: women as mothers, keepers of the home, defenders of national identity. State media amplifies this, framing feminism as a foreign threat. But young Hungarians, connected to global culture, see a world of possibilities beyond tradition. Social media is full of women discussing feminism, mental health, and LGBTQ+ rights. This creates a huge generation gap. Older generations see stability, younger ones see restriction. Feminist movements are growing, demanding better protections and equality, but struggle for mainstream attention. The clash is everywhere. Government billboards versus street art, folk music versus international pop. For traditionalists, the sin is Western liberalism. For progressives, it's the government's prideful control. This cultural battle is defining modern Hungary. The outcome will shape what it means to be a Hungarian woman for years to come. The struggle is far from over. Here's the most mind-blowing fact. Hungary spends a staggering 5% of its entire GDP on policies designed to raise the fertility rate to 2.1 children per woman. That's an enormous investment, especially when you consider the scale of a nation's economy. In fact, that's more than most countries spend on their military. Hungary is literally prioritizing families over firepower. The government's ambitious goal is to reverse population decline, not by increasing immigration, but by encouraging Hungarian women to have more children and build larger families. This explains the massive family loans, generous 3-year maternity leave, and a host of other benefits that support parents from pregnancy through early childhood. There are even lifetime tax breaks for mothers with 4 or more kids, a reward for those who help grow the nation. Women's private decisions about family size and timing have become a matter of national strategy, woven into the fabric of public policy. The pressure is immense. Your personal choice is now a government priority, and the eyes of the nation are watching. Is this a sin of pride, greed, or sloth? Or is it something else entirely? A reflection of national anxiety about the future? Or is it a noble effort to save the nation, a collective push to secure Hungary's identity for generations to come? Hungary's approach is a radical social experiment, unique in the developed world and watched closely by other nations. Women are at the very center of this national project, shaping the country's destiny with every decision they make. Whether you see it as empowering or intrusive, it's one of the most extreme and far-reaching policies on Earth. This fact ties together everything we've seen: laws, culture, and daily life, all converging on the choices of women. It's the ultimate test of what sinful means for a country and how far a nation will go to shape its own future. And it's happening right now, in the lives of millions of Hungarian women and families. We've explored the laws, culture, and the massive national project to boost the birth rate. Is Hungary the most sinful country? It depends on your definition. If sin means hedonism, Hungary isn't even close. But if it's about pride, control, and government overreach, the argument is strong. Hungarian women live at the intersection of freedom and restriction, progress and tradition. The 5% GDP fact is still hard to believe. What do you think? Is Hungary's approach brilliant or dangerous? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.